Hello. Today, I just wanted to talk about follow up on the conversation that I had last time with Paul. We were talking about shadow work and the importance of doing shadow work and why, as a practitioner, it's so important to do that. Most people that get in the realm of healing or do healing work as their practice for giving to others, they get into that line of work initially to help themselves, and they discover over time how amazing it is, how much benefit they're getting, how much they love the type of healing work that after several years of doing it, they decide to go and become a practitioner and facilitator and do apprenticeship programming and do certification trainings and healers trainings and you name it, whatever modalities you're interested in, people will go out and decide to study it. And what's interesting is that not a lot of people know how many layers are there to heal and unravel. And you don't know until you know. It's quite a journey, and I started my path of receiving healing and learning healing modalities and receiving certification trainings and doing week-long, weekends-long, several months-long, several years-long programs. I started it back in 1997, and I went from one healer's program and one training to another, from 97 to 99 to 2001, from 2001 to 2003, and then another program in 2005, and then something else in 2008, and from 2005 to 2010 went through a whole Tantra training. And then in 2010 did a professional coach certification that was affiliated through the ICF, International Coaching Federation. It was affiliated through them, and did multiple types of coaching trainings, NLP trainings, emotional processing, and body work trainings to release emotions trapped in the body. But all the while, I was a single mother, and I was doing everything I could to pay the bills and to raise my son, and receiving all that healing on myself was amazing, but I didn't know to the extent of what I needed to do in order to actually unravel other layers. So when you become a tantrika or a sex coach, most people get into that work because they see the value and they see the power and the passion and the joy out of it, because it's so rewarding and liberating, and it helps you feel free and lets go of shame and lets go of trauma in the body. But I discovered that it takes so much more than just doing a few certification trainings or even several years of certification trainings to actually unravel what's trapped in the body, especially for adults who have had child abuse or who have had sexual trauma or who've had sexual child abuse, who've had parents that were alcoholics, which a lot of us have had parents that were alcoholics, and or parents that had mental illness. And in order to heal from all of that, it's like it can take a lifetime. And there's so much to learn, there's so much to unravel. And the only way I discovered that it's truly able to be revealed and be cleared and healed is through intimate long-term relationship. And most people that have had significant trauma like that are not able to maintain long-term relationships because of the degree of reactions and triggers and fear of trust, fear of love, fear of intimacy that shows up. And you have to have a very willing and very committed partner to love you through whatever you're processing and whatever you're healing. So I'm fortunate and grateful that I have a loving partner that has been supportive in my shadow work process after having been a Dakini and Tantrika for 15 years and stopping that work just to go deeper within and discovering that being a Tantrika and a sex coach, sexual healer is not possible when you are in love, deeply in love with another, when you want a profound, loving, close, deep, committed, passionate, powerful relationship. There's so much to unravel. There's so much to heal. And I'm just discovering now, and I just want to just share briefly that the shadow work has gotten me to work on my mother. And not knowing that that was hidden underneath all of the trauma, all of the relationships, the men that I had tried to make something work and it never worked. It's always that seeking of the relationship that you never had, seeking of a father or seeking of your mother to love you unconditionally and be supportive, and that desperate desire to have their love when they were incapable. They were alcoholics or they had some kind of mental illness, whatever it was, whether it's narcissism or bipolar or borderline personality disorder or some type of psychopathology, some type of mental instability and madness that drives a child insane. It drives a child to, craziness, not knowing why their parent is acting the way they are, being terrified, just wanting their love, just wanting their acceptance, just wanting their support, just wanting to be themselves, to be free, to be playful, to have fun, to just be a free spirit, to be supported, to do whatever it is that matters to them. And children that have parents that way don't have that experience. And we can't save our moms, we can't save our dads. We want to desperately, and really that's underneath all of the desire for intimate love, is that desperate desire for love, is that desire to have our parents love us. And when they never did, and they never could, and they're still behaving in the same ways, they still haven't sought recovery, they still haven't done any 12-step work or recovery work with alcohol, recovery work in any other way, or any type of therapy. If they haven't done any of that work, they're not going to do it. Most likely, they may never do it. And you may always be waiting for their love. You may always be waiting for them to so-called heal. You may be wishing and wanting their love forever and never feeling fully gotten or fully accepted for who you are from your parents. So that's where the grief work comes in to be such an important part of the process. And sexual healers like tantrikas, a lot of people out there that are working in the sexual healers field, a lot of them have been traumatized. A lot of them have been tortured and abused, or have had a past that they desperately needed to heal from. And they ended up finding this like amazing experience with Tantra because it is amazing. But without having done the deeper shadow work that's hidden in the cells of the muscles, of the organs of the body, and had a significant partner that was fully committed to you, that helped you release these deep, deep, deep emotions out of the body, they're never going to leave. And many people just go to a practitioner to help them release these things, and they don't get all the way out of them. They end up just giving up on trying to heal these things because it takes so much effort and so much commitment and so much time because of a lifetime of trauma, an entire childhood from birth until you left your parents' home, whether it was at 18 or 23 or 30. If you had parents that were dysfunctional and dramatic and rageaholics, and where they were schizophrenic or they were bipolar or borderline personality disorder or narcissistic, it can take the rest of your life to heal that. Unless you have someone who madly, madly loves you, is deeply in love with you. And I'm so grateful that I do. And so he's helping me heal at the core. And as having been a practitioner for 20 years, I didn't know that that was something I needed to do because I had thought that I had healed so much of it already from being a practitioner for so long, from having done so much training, from receiving so much healing. But the unconscious patterns, the unconscious behaviors, the hidden shadow parts of ourselves that are not processed 100% fully from within will keep repeating themselves again and again and again and again. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You need to retrain your brain. You need to retrain your reactions and triggers. You need to process all the core trauma and the emotions through EMDR or therapy or Gestalt work or breath work, body work, acupressure, going deep within to clear these emotions that are trapped in the body. And they're trapped everywhere. I mean everywhere. They're trapped all over your neck, your breasts, your under your armpits, your belly, all of the organs in your belly, your liver, your gallbladder, your spleen, your intestines, your uterus, your uterine wall, outside your stomach, like on your lower belly and on the pubic bone area and your pelvic floor area, your uterine on the outside. So underneath the belly button, on the actual part of you can touch it and you can put your hands on your lower belly and you can rub that, but your beloved pressing on those areas, those pressure points, and there's knots everywhere. There's knots all over in the groin, in like closer to the groin, close to the genitals. There's emotions trapped all over that area. There's emotions trapped. You can move your fingers around and you can feel the muscle that's tight. And if you hold it and you hold it for an extended period of time, you will know that there's emotions there. And then when you have a beloved who is there for you, you can have him do internal work where he's working with a glove and going inside. And I'm not talking about G-spot work or, orgasmic work inside a woman's womb. I'm talking about process work. I'm talking about emotions that are trapped in the cervical wall or in the muscles around the G-spot. You could do work on the G-spot, but that's only one tiny part of processing the emotions that are trapped inside a woman's womb. It's for men too. For a man has the same stuff, but that's different parts of the body, but there's still processing emotions trapped there. But for a woman, inside her, inside the muscles, inside any area that's tight, if your man loves you enough and you trust him and you get to the point where you trust him and you allow him to work on you, you can release those emotions. You can release the trauma And a lot of the times, the initial stages of releasing the trauma around those areas, outside and inside, is usually sexual trauma. It's usually rapes if you've been raped. It's usually any feelings of discomfort of anybody violating you, whether it was energetically, emotionally, or physically. And then after that, you may go deeper, and it may end up being about your early childhood. It may be your father, your disconnect or feelings of abandonment from your dad, or disconnect or feelings of abandonment from your mother, or disconnect feelings of your mother competing with you or wanting to be like you, wishing she was beautiful, wishing she had the friends that you had, wishing she had the skills that you had. There might be competition. There might be her anger may be trapped in you because you were a sponge when you were a child. You're a sponge to your parents' emotions and your parents' process when you're near them and when you love them and when you're looking for their love and they're not giving it. When you're a little child and you're exposed to that environment, all of those emotions are trapped inside. So I don't want to make this too much longer, and I want to talk more about this, but this is the beginning of my discussing on what grief work is, the processing of it, the importance of a practitioner doing the process work so that the practitioner can give this work to their clients and help them in ways that tantric healing or wonderful massage doesn't do it. It doesn't get it. It doesn't get to what's really needed. And then I'm going to talk about how my beloved and I are helping couples, helping women, and teaching them how they can do this for each other. Teaching the husband how he can work on his woman. Teaching the wife, the woman, how she can do emotional process work on her man, her beloved. Or if it's a woman and a woman relationship or a man and a man relationship, it doesn't matter. It's just helping each other clear the emotions that are stuck in the body, that are causing the patterns, that are causing the reactions, that are causing the armoring, causing the lack of sex drive, or the opening and closing, or causing it the anger, whatever is there in your long-term relationship, to get it clear so that you can be madly in love again and again and again. And that's what we all want. We all want to be in love with the person that we're involved with. We want to be in love. We want to be in love again and again. And it's possible to fall in love with the same person over and over again. And that's why I'm here. I've been told I'm the goddess of love, and I radiate that energy. I radiate peace, and I'm a human being, and I am here to learn, and I'm also here to teach. So more to come, lots to say, and don't forget to do your personal, relaxation work that you need to do in between your process work, whether it's a bath or walking or writing, journaling, singing, meditating. Lately I've been getting into art and painting and creative things. So taking care of you is taking care of everyone else. You take care of yourself, you're giving to yourself, then you're giving to the world. You give everywhere. Every part of you is a reflection and goes out there, and people feel it, people know it. Authenticity and being true to yourself is being true to others. So, love to you. I will be back, whether I'm with my beloved or it's just me.